Hello and welcome to my presentation. Today I will be discussing the contemporary artist Jung Gi, one of my personal favorites. I'd like to get started right away, start talking about him and his impact, I feel, on the contemporary art scene across Asia, across the entire globe. First, I would like to get started with background about who he is as a person, how he grew up, his experiences as far as university and the military, which I will get into soon. But first I want to start with saying that he was born in 1975 in the Gyeonggi in the province of Gyeonggi-do in South Korea. So he's a South Korean artist. So Kim would be his surname as it comes first. Jung Gi attended Jung Gi University in Busan. So from what I've read about this university, it had about 23,000 other students during the time he was attending. So he had all sorts of peers and contemporaries to bounce his ideas off of. He first attended that university actually when he was 19 years of age. And so he started originally at this school, yes, and travels the world, and he performs live shows where he basically sketches. He does this thing where he, we'll get into that, but he does basically live shows, performing art and sketching as a sort of performance. Jung Gi's unique perspective. Now, I mentioned before that he did serve time in the military. Now, this is typically, from what I understand, a thing that is commonly occurs within South Korea. These men who attend the military for about 2 years, from what I understand, and he served 2 years in the military. During that time, he actually served in the Special Forces, believe it or not, which is where he says that he got a lot of his inspiration for learning how to draw equipment, learning how to draw weapons. One example in an interview with Stan Prokopenko he gave was where he was inside of a sort of like air carrier, sort of like a plane is what I meant to say. Apologize for that. Sort of like an airplane. He was speaking about he was in the inside of it. They're waiting to be deployed, and he would sit there during their idle time, and he would, in his head, draw the structure of the plane. The reason he didn't actually sketch it during this period of time was because he suspected that his officers, his superiors, would possibly try to get him to draw for them, draw their family, pets, whatnot, that kind of thing. So instead, he did it in his head. Now, this also goes into the fact that Jung Gi, as an artist, is an incredible, has an incredible mind's eye. Now, this comes into play in his art. It's incredible, these live shows. The reason he's able to pull these kinds of live shows off, where it's as a performance, is because, as it is said by many people and himself, that he has a really great memory. I will get to the next slide. So art as a performance. I believe I said something like this beforehand. I'd like to go into depth what I mean about this. What I mean when I say this is that, of course, he does these live shows. He travels the world and does these live shows. I believe he's done some here in the United States. I believe in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. And it was during one of these trips where artist Stan Prokopenko interviewed him. He's an artist. Kind of how I discovered about Jung Gi through this interview. And on Jung Gi, of course, Stan Prokopenko, his opinion on him. Stan Prokopenko, if you don't know who he is, he's an artist who does sort of YouTube tutorials, things like that. Has a YouTube channel where he teaches artwork, does tutorials of that nature. And his opinion on Jung Gi is that everything is amazed. Everyone is amazed by his memory, and he said even himself is amazed by Kim Jung Gi's memory. And at these live shows, the reason he's able to do this in this way is that he doesn't necessarily even have any reference, no reference at all. He pulls it straight from his mind when he's doing this. He puts these figures into perspective, and I'd like to get more into this about how he's doing this and what that means for, in general, the contemporary art scene across the whole world, the graphic design scene. It means this new direction of kind of showmanship in artwork. So but aside from showmanship, there's also freedom in it. And what do I mean by freedom is some of his most successful published artwork is sketchbooks. Of course, you see here, this one on the right here, you see it's not incredibly rendered stuff. It's these I'm assuming looks like here pencil or ink of some sort, very rough, but it looks incredible. It is in perspective. His memory of what he's seen goes straight onto the canvas. If you look here, it also looks like he has flipped the canvas to draw on it in a different way as well, and he's overlapped that onto itself. Over here on the left side, you'll see he also includes in these sketchbooks. This particular sketchbook is from 2013. Excuse me, 2013. Of course, you see here at the bottom. Look at this, 300 pages. There's more than that in that sketchbook too. It's absolutely mind-boggling. But he puts these out every couple years. I think there's a new one out right now. But this just goes to show that he does stuff very unconventionally. He's not an artist who does stuff in a regular contemporary way. In this way, I believe he expresses freedom in artwork by doing his artwork in the form of everything from basic sketches in a sketchbook to fully rendered paintings. I'm going to look at some more of Kim Jung Gi's artwork. This is a more recent piece. This is from 2020. Quite interesting. Now, take a moment to appreciate the dynamics of this. This is a very dynamic piece. And it's simply using black and white and hatching. This was done in pen. So this just goes to show just the level of detail that he puts into his work as well. Of course, as far as the subject matter he tackles, I'm going to get more into the subject matter. He does just about anything he wants to, and that gets into freedom again. He draws whatever he wants. He doesn't necessarily stick to a specific theme of any sort from piece to piece. He draws what he wants. Here we have, of course, a sort of sci-fi setting of a sort. And here a man writing and having things come out of his head. So very interesting there. And here's another one. Of course, I'm showing you some from 2013 from his sketchbook from then. Now this, unlike that stuff he did with the sci-fi kind of setting, this is him sitting in a park and he's drawing what's around him, and he does this all in one sitting. It's incredible. So he has a great variety in these sketchbooks, and his total artwork catalog. I want to thank you for viewing my presentation. I'm very, very grateful for it. Here are all the sources. Here, if you want to, I want to talk about these sources for a second here. VK, it's this European social media site. You can view his entire sketchbook from 2013 here at this website if you sign up for the account for this website. And here's where I also found some more of his stuff. Super Ani is a company he's a major part of. So I recommend visiting the Super Ani website or the Kim Jung Gi website, viewing his portfolio. He has an incredible back catalog. And again, I want to again reiterate that the way in which he goes about making this artwork, it is all in one go. His memory is extremely powerful. And I want to thank you again for participating and sitting through my presentation. Thank you again.